Lit city. Neon. Sweat. Every man faces tense with hypervigilance. Expressions set by taxidermy. Fatigued by undesired motive. A slum box stratum stacked symmetrically to the sky. We stare from thousands of windows to avoid facing the disappointment inside. All the meat here, he thinks, and all at once. She had come to him like a phantom in the rain. His name on the frosted glass of the door her shadow fell against. Swift. Private detective. She'd found him there alone. Earlier tonight. Before all hope was lost. The door opened with an arousing aroma of perfumed pussy. One foot in front of the other she walked a tightrope tied to the lump in his throat. A platinum blonde with porcelain skin. Eyes big and dark like pools of blood under moonlight. This canary crooned about hiring him to pigtail her cheating husband. Said she'd pay all expenses up front, from the dumb rube's own account. Said she was real distraught over the whole thing. She squeezed out a small tear to show she was sincere. This wasn't no dizzy dame pushing her luck on the wrong side of the subjugated street. Not some pay-as-you-lay clock watcher poised like a demented flamingo in a broken stiletto. The tomato wasn't from around here, and she didn't wear geisha makeup to cover herpes like a Tijuana trick-turner. Black magic pulled them together like a voodoo love potion. Her impressive womanhood, the all of her. Being a man only boils down to one thing. How you're perceived as a man in the eyes of the woman you want. Smoke from her seductive lips blew over his cynically drawn features. He breathed her mouth deep. Infatuation. Obsession. Longing for possession. He lost all control. Lost himself completely in her endless eyes. Her ripe, dark lips sucked cigarettes. Cocktail dress a shock against his hard-boiled inspired office. Her long-boned muscular back and sinewy shoulders. Stilettos in scarlet faux suede. Elegantly adjusted her black satin elbow gloves. The soft geometry of her sultry face. Breasts lifting as she breathed his secrets. Bunny. She said her name was Bunny. He who does business with strange women takes a wolf by the ears. Swift knew it then. She glanced up. Seeking the fire of his pocket lighter. This dame with a past. And Swift, a man with no future. Eyes closed, she forgot the world in an absorbing inhale on her panatella. Blew a slow thunderhead as she nodded to some irony with a smoldering smirk. Cheekbones sculptured by shadow. Crisp, green eyes ringed with anxious obsession lit by the fatalistic night. Ash across his desk and streaks. His cigarette burned slowly in an ornate ashtray. Bunny's ambiguous smile pulled on a panatella. Pouting. Varnish polish scented stairs gathered dust in the lobby of Swift's office. Easy chairs with cigarette stands in the foyer. An outsprung sofa and Woody Herman's blues in the night in the air like silk from a gin mill across the street. Still smelling her perfume, he walked through the hall, down the stairs, towards the suffering city. Bunny's face was cut with shadow. She was waiting for him. A surrealist in a serious room. A breath shaped as a whisper. The Roscoe popped. The monster in her eyes mocked as the bullet tore through him. He slumped against the banister, feeling his legs twist. Cut in half by the deadly doll. Damn. The last goodbye. The big sleep. This whip-bodied hellion of a French femme fatale gone native. A faux Americano with a twisted passion for dope and murder. The excitement of her. His thundering heart. This untamable dame. He's slipping. The brutal, throbbing heart of the slums is a dangerous place to lose yourself. Should have been more detective than dame hungry tonight. Now he's up to his revolver and shit. This man-bait was probably the gun mole of some mad dog cunt Baron Swift put on ice at Sing Sing in his glory cop days. Some scar-faced pusher who peddled pussy for a price. Greased the palm of a dirty turnkey. Made a call to his goons on the outside. Sent her to seduce and shoot Swift into a deep sick sleep. He's a real chump. You didn't have to be a Coney Island clairvoyant to make the connection. Bunny's painted claw softened on the trigger. She blew him a seductive kiss through a curl of cordite as she passed. Swift's hands went to the blood on his belt. He watched her walk sexily away through a thunderhead of gun smoke into city anonymity. The lines in the back of her stockings. The shape of her in the abstract maze of buildings. He was already dead to her. Bunny. She said her name was Bunny. So, he limped out and into the bar to salute his last minutes in Lit City. Outside his office, Swift winced as he painfully pulled on his trench coat. Flicked his stogie to the gutter. The moon cut by ripples. A sad saxophonist blowing lethargically from a brownstone window. The city crosshatched by steel struts he swayed under, poisoned by the nauseating dramatic flamboyance of the 1940s Art Deco chichi scene that had peaked and failed. The sky lightening to lilac. The swell of street. Nothing will stop the great meaningless procession here. They will never know they were all just shadows on the brickwork moving across graffiti eulogies. That they live on the fringe of the void. The immense swirling vortex that is Lit City. And it is pulling them down. He leaned on the door of the bar, lit a lucky strike. Bit his lip listening to the night whisper. Seeking the mystery of her. Bunny. There's nothing more for him here anyway. Anywhere. Just the constant agonizing pull forward through mute thoughts, people and places as he smothers under suffocating meaninglessness. The hungry, howling streets of Lit City. The subtle horror in lower class faces. Eyes small and nervous peering out of overinflated egotism. This never-ending forced progression through time and just trying to make goddamn sense of it all as the walls close in. People everywhere. People who are constantly reminded of their place in society. Nowhere. People like him. Who he's become. Just another rube dying to live in rooms that smell like mold and Marlboro and life-ending mistakes. A city lost and broke and full of loneliness. Night laps the boardwalk. You can feel it under the docks waiting. Watching. People's darkest secrets desperately flung into black water to rid themselves of their sins. Down there in the deep. Our crimes wait for us. Blood pools darkly on the floorboards below him. Reflecting the lifeless faces at the bar. The slow drip from the tip of his polished wingtip mesmerizing as it soaks his stomach and runs down his leg. He orders another and smirks at the cancer in his cigarette. Thinking about the shape of her with distant arousal. Bleeding. For Bunny. The saddest man at happy hour. Swift.